We sort of played with a couple of thoroughbreds early, and then I think it was more opportunity. Obviously I met Alana, she had a great gift in it, and then we had an opportunity to train for Peter's Investments, which I think at the end of the day we had to make a decision. We couldn't do both at that level, so we looked at it that thoroughbreds was going where we wanted to go, so that's the path we took. Yeah, there's a fair bit of pressure. We put ourselves under a fair bit of pressure, and obviously you're paid to do a job where, you know, Mr. Peters, he could go to anyone else around. There's a few guys that with good options around here that he could easily go to, so we put that pressure on ourselves, and we're competitors and we like to win, so we've got a little jockey that loves to win as well, so I think that probably helps. It just it generates a really good vibe, you know, a really good let's get the job done. We're just very lucky that we've been able to ride that wave with him, and I think, you know, without getting carried away, he is very important to our team. Without him, I don't know if we would have reached these heights.
Under this system, close enough isn't good enough, and every detail is looked into and inspected. And also, when you know no hair's been left unturned like that heading into big races, it just gives me a lot of confidence. And I suppose a couple of times there, Grant's gone, well, I've done my job, it's up to you from here. So there's definitely a good understanding there.
What's it feel like when you pull it all off and the Group 1s come? We only get the 3 of them there.
The first feeling that comes to you is relief.
That's the first one.
That you've done your job, and it's that would be the first one, yeah. And then after that, well, then there's the elation, there's the emotion, the being proud of the team, being proud of Willie. Yeah, but the major one is relief.
Through the COVID period, you've been challenged, like many people in racing have. You challenged yourself probably to the nth degree. Went across to Melbourne, we talk about the great fillies and mares, Acadia Queen, and then of course Regal Power Superstorm going there, and the success that you had to give up a heck of a lot to be able to attain that success. I mean, how taxing was it on both of you, training partnership, husband and wife, parents to Tani? How difficult was that time, 4 months away from your home?
It was a long time away, and it probably took us to spots that we hadn't been, didn't it? Whether we'd do that again, I'm not really sure if we'd do that again. It was pretty tough, but the fruit was at the end of it, and we got to the grand final, and we won some good races, but it was testing, and something that you can't control. I suppose this COVID and all that come along, and it was something that you couldn't control, and we didn't know going into it that it would be as long as what it was. But look, we love what we do, but when you bring family and stuff into it, and it puts stresses on you with that sort of side of it, you might change things next time.
Yeah, I can't say I enjoyed it, but the end result was satisfying.
While I was away, she actually went to another level in the, you know, I can't ride them, but I was a good conditioner, whereas she had to become that as well. And I think what it probably did is rounded her off more as the boss now.
Yeah, the role Alana plays really is invaluable. It would be lost on nearly everyone, her ability and what she can do on a horse. As far as in every aspect of feeling, how it's feeling, she can pick up things that I can't even come close to picking up. And she can, she can mould a horse and get him to come round to our way much better than I ever could, and much better than I think I've seen anybody do, because she can get on a horse. I know when she's been riding a horse. If I get on a horse, I know if she's been riding it all week or not. And I know it in the first 2 seconds. I don't know how she does it. I couldn't even explain it. It is lost on me as well. But the ability of Alana, going into these big races, nothing gets missed. You got Grant Williams, on foot, marshalling the troops, and then Alana on their back, who just doesn't miss a detail. And not only does she not miss a detail, she can just fine-tune them like I haven't actually been able to see a person do that from on their back.
We saw you ride Western Empire this morning. He's come back obviously off that amazing first up victory there in outstanding order. Do you think that he might be a much superior horse now as a 4-year-old that he was at the back end of his 3-year-old classic season as a 3-year-old. He won the Derby, but how does he feel? He looked fantastic today.
Yeah, he feels very good. And this is almost going back to the Alana situation here. A horse like him, he was very tricky early on, and Alana spent a lot of time on him. And you know, he's actually a pleasure to ride now. He's still difficult. He's by no means a kid's pony, but he's definitely, his mind's on the job, and I really attribute nearly all of that to Alana and her ability in the saddle to change the way they're thinking and bring them around. So he felt fantastic first up, and I think that's a credit to the team, the way they've been able to mould them through their 3-year-old career, try and ask them to stay when maybe they are or aren't stayers, and then to bring them back and peak them over the shorter ones. Obviously the horse has plenty of ability to go with it, and we're all just doing our best to mould him to be the best that he can. It's a team that I've been associated with for so long, Mr. Peters and the Peters investment team, and right through from when Grant and Alana sort of really were starting out. And Grant always was a good trainer. He had his trotters and paces and was always a good trainer, but transferring that to the gallops definitely took its time and had to evolve. So when we do happen to pull the good ones off, it definitely feels very nice to me. It gives me a good sense of satisfaction when it's all done as the team that we know.
You've got, if I'm looking at it here, the favourite for the Railway, you've got the favourite for the Guineas, Treasured Star, and you've got the top 3 in the market for the Kingston Town in what is a domestic spring carnival this year. Any pressure just yet?
A little bit. As you can see this morning, like the work is great. The horses are coming along great, but like I explained to you, we've still got a couple of weeks before we've got to get there. I think that's the pressure. Just to, we're paid to do a job, and we've got to get the horses there on the day. We're pretty happy with how everything's travelling at the moment. Something we try not to think too much about, but we just keep getting up every morning and hoping everything's good.
Of course, we talk a bit about family and your training partnership, but there is a third member of the Williams clan too that's as significant probably as most, and becoming more significant as time goes on. As I saw this morning there, your daughter Tani, she's been born and bred into a racing stable, and one sense is that she won't be doing too much else in her life other than being around horses.
Yeah, she loves the horses, Macca. She's got a couple of ponies. She's right into her riding. I think the cameras might have attracted her a little bit more this morning, but she does get up every morning and do the ponies, and she's starting to talk about it, starting to ask us when she can start riding, and that she's still probably a couple of years off being able to ride these. They're a bit strong for her at the moment, but it's definitely something that we'll look forward to down the track.
As a top flight apprentice rider and a groundbreaker for women in racing there, how would you feel about your daughter going in and maybe potentially, if Mother Nature allowed it there, to take on a career as an apprentice jockey?
Yeah, it's a hard one. I suppose I wouldn't stop her. We could accommodate her, I guess. But I think just starting to ride and a bit of track work first will be the first steps, and see where it takes her from there.
Yeah, because as a parent, obviously you'd be more protective than you are of yourself when you were going through as a young rider.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, but she's very keen on it, and yeah, we'll just see where she ends up with it. Hopefully, I was hoping she'd be too smart for it, but
All built like that.
Yeah.